across Tasmania. This is Tas News 24 with Kane Dello.
Hello and welcome to the program. The situation surrounding people testing positive to COVID-19 within Tasmania has slowly started to ease. The Northwest Regional Hospital has now been cleaned by a specialist team with the assistance by the Australian Defence Force. Things seem to have progressed well. Financially though, this virus has cost Australia, and indeed right here in Tasmania, millions of dollars, with many businesses closing their doors, unable to cover the cost of wages. It was a case of making the hard choice to close their doors. Some businesses have told us the government's rescue package had arrived too late for them to use it to stay afloat, and sadly were forced to sack staff and close down altogether. The situation throughout the week with people testing positive to COVID-19 did show a small decline, but then midweek it spiked again, with the state's total number of positive cases sitting at 207. The Premier and the Health Minister are hoping to bring the virus under control within Tasmania, especially in the Northwest region, where the number of cases are high. Across the nation, there have been a total of 6,667 cases of people testing positive to COVID-19, and sadly 76 people have died. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has continued to provide support for people and businesses affected by this virus under the advice and directions provided to him by the federal government. Now, some have said conspiracy theories that relate to the government are nothing more than a beat-up that is created by an individual. But during the week, our cameras attended the very public entrance at where the new remand centre is currently being built in the state's south, as a number of residents were saying construction work was starting in early hours of the morning. But the government had previously told mainstream media that work on the site had been cancelled due to the COVID-19 situation. And while we were there filming, and keeping in mind that we were filming from a public property and was at no stage on the construction site, the site manager from the company who has the contract to build the new remand centre walked down and proceeded to instruct my cameraman that he was not to film anything. The site manager then proceeded to ring the Justice Department and advise them that there was a news crew there filming the front entrance of the worksite. The shots that you have seen clearly show work vehicles leaving the compound, but you cannot see any work being done on any buildings. So the reason behind trying to stop us filming became very strange. The following day, a government department, along with the Attorney General, had contacted us and advised us they did not want us to run any story. After several minutes, we were told the main reason is because the government had an agreement with the ABC News for them to be the broadcaster to release any new details or developments of the project. We find that very odd and would assume that any new project that is being constructed within the community that relates to the people of Tasmania should be delivered to all media. It appears the government continues to favour the ABC on many levels, with one of our viewers telling us the Integrities Commission advising them that the Health Department was leaking information to contacts within the ABC network before other media had been advised, and at times well before other officials were even known to any of the news. It seemed the Integrities Commission has allowed the green light for government departments to leak information to media, well, not all media, just the ABC News. And finally, last week we raised the question as to why for many months the Tasmania Police had not advised media of any details surrounding an incident that took the life of an innocent person. 3 months ago, a police officer struck and killed a pedestrian after the police vehicle he was driving collided with another vehicle in which the occupant sustained serious injuries at an intersection in Launceston's CBD. The collision was so severe the police vehicle flipped and spun around several times. Tas News 24 was the first media crew on the scene and spoke to a number of people who witnessed the crash, who told us that the police vehicle did not have its siren activated, and there was questions surrounding if the emergency lights were activated at the time. We can now reveal, after our story going to air last week, Tasmania Police have advised us that a 39-year-old male police officer has now been charged with manslaughter, causing grievous bodily harm and a number of driving offences. Tasmania Police advised us the constable was on leave after the collision, but had not been suspended from duty or placed in a non-operational role. We're advised by police that it was not appropriate for them to make any further comment to us, as the matter is now before the courts. The officer will appear in the Launceston Magistrates Court on July 8th. Now let's take a look at the weekend weather from right across the state. In Hobart today, it reached a maximum of 16 and tonight looking at a low of 11. Saturday will be partly cloudy, looking at a high of 19 and a low of 12. Sunday partly cloudy with showers expected, looking at a high of 17 and a low of 13. In Devonport today, it was partly cloudy and reached a high of 17, and tonight it will get down to 11. Saturday there will be showers and reaching a maximum of 17 with an overnight low of 12. Sunday, showers will continue mainly in the morning and late afternoon, looking at a high of 17 and a low of 13. Launceston today saw some windy conditions and mostly overcast throughout the day. It reached a top of 16 and tonight looking at a low of 9. Saturday there is rain on its way, looking at a top of 17 and a low of 11. Sunday the rain will be sticking around, looking at a top of 18 and an overnight low of 13. Well, that's our program for this evening. Before we go, Saturday is Anzac Day, and with COVID-19 shaping the nation and our state, we're unable to pay our respects the way we usually would to those who sacrificed their lives for us. So at dawn on Saturday, we are encouraging every Tasmanian to stand at their driveways, on the edges of their front lawns, or out on their decks and take the time to remember those ex-servicemen and women who sacrificed their lives for us. This day still needs to be acknowledged, and we would encourage everyone to take part. Until next week, take care of yourself and others. Bye for now.